This one-way business class ticket usually costs $7,000, which is obviously a ton of money for a flight that only lasts 7 hours. I mean, it's literally costing you $1,000 per hour, which begs the question, is it worth it? Well, get ready to make that decision because in today's video, I'm bringing you along for the full United Polaris in-flight experience. And I'm sharing my very honest feedback. Plus, at the end, I'll tell you a mistake that I made and what I would do differently if I ever have the chance to fly United Polaris again. So give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let's get into it. If you have yet to fly business class, you should know that there are typically 3 components that make up the experience. Number 1, the seat. How comfortable and private they are, how nice the amenity kit is, etc. Number 2, the food. How tasty it is and how much do you get to eat. And number 3, the service. How helpful and friendly are the flight attendants, and is there anything that they do that's just above and beyond? In this video, we're evaluating each of these 3 components, starting with the seat. My seat was 5L and I just loved how the seat was configured. As you can see, each business class seat on this flight is in its own little cubicle. There was so much privacy and I even had my own little walkway from the seat to the aisle. Even in the middle seats across the aisle from me, you have so much privacy with a little wall that can be moved up and down to separate you from the person next to you. And every business class seat has direct aisle access, which is not something to take for granted, even in the business class world. My console was to my left, and there was a big compartment with a good-sized mirror and a full water bottle. There also should have been some over-ear headphones hanging from right here, but mine were missing. And I didn't bother asking for a pair because I knew I wasn't going to use them. The seat had a nice sconce for subtle lighting and a reading light directly to my left. Underneath the mirror compartment was an outlet and a USB charging port, as well as a headphone jack and a remote control for the entertainment system. If you need another place to charge your electronics, never fear. Underneath the monitor right in front of the seat was another USB charging port and a large tray table that did a great job of staying out of the way when I wasn't using it. And lastly, of course, this seat comes with lots and lots of legroom. So overall, I think the seat configuration was really impressive, but the only thing that really sucked about my seat in particular was the fact that I was missing a window. The other seats each had 2 windows, but apparently row 5 only had 1 window, which is not the biggest deal, but it definitely made the seat feel a little bit darker, and it did make it a little bit harder for me to enjoy the outdoor view. So just something to keep in mind for next time. But now let's talk about the Therabody amenity kit. I was a little disappointed about the amenity kit just because I was hoping for the away, like the mini away suitcases, but I guess those have been discontinued and that partnership is over. So instead we got these Therabody fanny packs, which are kind of cute. And inside there are some socks, which I am about to put on, an eye mask, which will definitely come in handy, a TheraFace kit with a towelette, lip balm, hand cream, hydrating mist, and an eye serum. So lots of goodies in here. I didn't even realize it was so full of so many things. We have a dental kit, some soft tissue, some earplugs, and the teeniest little pen. Comment below if you got to fly with United Polaris during their partnership with Away. If you got one of those little Away suitcases, I would love to know if it's everything that I imagined it to be. Perhaps one of the biggest features of this business class seat is the fact that it is lie flat. I mean, after all, lie flat seats are pretty much the main draw to flying business class. And would you believe me if I told you that this very bedding is about 90% of the reason that I chose this flight? Let me explain. The bedding on Polaris flights is iconic because it is from the one and only Saks Fifth Avenue, which just takes it up a whole nother level in luxury, at least in theory. With this bedding, you get a seat cover, a blanket, and a pillow. comfortable. It didn't really feel extra comfy or luxurious the way that I was expecting it to. So overall, the lie flat feature was just okay. Nothing better, but nothing worse than a typical business class flight. But there was one spot on the seat that was like hitting my lower back in a kind of uncomfortable way. So that's probably why I didn't get as much sleep as I was hoping to. I just woke up after really not sleeping that great. I only had like 2 hours to sleep, so I'm definitely going to be tired today. The seat was comfortable enough, and like my legs stretched out all the way, so I'm not really sure why I didn't sleep that great. But I did dream that I was literally on this plane, and then I woke up and I was on the plane. But overall, the actual seat and the bed itself was certainly not something that I'm gonna complain about. And the last part about the seat that we need to go over is the entertainment selection, which I found to be very good. There was a wide array of TV shows and movies to choose from, so I give the entertainment selection a thumbs up. And all things considered, I really did like the seats on this flight. I would rate the seat as a 4 or 4.5 out of 5. Now that we've rated the seat, let's talk about the second major business class component, the food. Like I said, we basically ordered dinner as soon as we sat down in our seats, or you could have pre-ordered your meal a few weeks ahead of time. Everything on the menu sounded really good, and the main course options were pork cutlet, barbecue chicken, Cajun shrimp, or stir-fried veggies with noodles. Immediately as we began ordering our meals, the dinner experience was already proving to be a little disappointing. I overheard most other passengers, including myself, order the Cajun shrimp dish, but I was surprised to hear the flight attendant walking around telling us that we would each need to choose a second backup option in case they didn't have enough for everyone's first choice, which I understand if you're someone like me who just kind of walked on the flight and ordered in the moment, that they might not have had enough of, everyone's first choice to go around. But if I had been one of the people that had ordered 2 weeks in advance and I was still told that I might not get the meal that I asked for, I think I'd be more than a little annoyed. And unfortunately, I think that's what ended up happening to a lot of folks who had pre-ordered. They did not get their first choice despite ordering so far in advance. But after I ordered, I freshened up with a warm towel and enjoyed some warm nuts, which were really tasty. And then our main courses were served. I had a salad, some bread and butter, another salad with some shrimp on top, and some stir-fried vegetables with noodles. So as you probably already deduced, I did not get my first choice Cajun shrimp meal, which is fine. I was also excited by the sound of the vegetables and noodles, but unfortunately the food was just not it. It was just not it. Which surprised me because I had just enjoyed some amazing food at the United Polaris Business Class Lounge at Newark Airport before I got on the flight. I do have a full video of that lounge. I think it was probably the best airport lounge I've ever been to. So if you want to see what that's like, definitely go check out that video after this one. But the food from the lounge versus the food on the flight were just really like a night and day difference. Luckily, dessert picked up the mood a little bit as I got to finally experience Polaris's signature ice cream sundae cart. This is exactly what it sounds like, where the flight attendants roll a sundae cart through the aisles and basically make your ice cream sundae custom ordered right in front of you. I kept it simple and got some vanilla ice cream with some caramel and chocolate sauce on top. And the last meal on board was breakfast, which was served in the morning. And as I've discovered through my own business class experiences and from watching a ton of YouTube videos, breakfast is notoriously the worst meal that you'll have on an airplane. I've never had a good breakfast on an airplane, and I'm even remembering my Air France flight where the food was amazing, and then breakfast happened, and I was like, what? And unfortunately, this breakfast was no exception. I think this was French toast with some fruit or something on top. I really don't know. I think I had like a bite and then I was done. As you can already tell, the food was my least favorite part of the flight, and I'm gonna have to give it like a 1.5 out of 5. Finally, we are at our final business class component, which is the service. This one will be really quick and fortunately way more positive. As I boarded the flight, the crew was really friendly and they told me that they loved my hair, which I just love a good compliment from a stranger, so things were already off to a good start. I was offered my pre-departure drinks of water and sparkling wine as soon as I sat down, which was really nice. And the flight attendants were friendly and accessible throughout the entire flight. So I really have no complaints of the service. At the same time, there was nothing super above and beyond. For example, on my Air France flight, the flight attendants gave out surprise gifts and handwritten notes at the end of the flight, which I mean was so unexpected and so thoughtful and personal. It was a really great touch. There was no sort of surprise like that on this flight, which is fine. It's not expected. It's just like that's, going above and beyond. So overall, I'm gonna rate the service as a 4.5 out of 5. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, there is one thing that I would do differently if I ever have the opportunity to fly United Polaris again. And you may have already guessed this, but that would be eating way more food at the Polaris lounge at the airport and then just immediately converting my seat into a bed as soon as I got onto the flight and sleeping through the whole flight. I know that might sound crazy to some of you to spend that much money or spend that many points on this expensive flight just to literally sleep through the whole thing. But one thing that I've learned from flying business class is that you should really prioritize whatever component would bring you the most value in that moment. So what I mean by that is on this particular flight, it was an overnight flight. I was arriving into Brussels the next day at like 7 a.m. and I had to work a full 9 to 5 day. So for me, it would have been way more valuable for me to just get a full night's sleep or a full 6 or 7 hours of sleep rather than trying to sleep and also stay up for half the flight to eat some food that ultimately I didn't really enjoy. And now that you've seen the full experience, let's go back to the original question, which is, do you think this flight is worth $7,000? And if not, how about $55 and 66,000 credit card points, which is how much I paid for this flight. If you're interested in learning how to book business class travel using credit card points and just a few dollars, definitely leave a comment below letting me know. And if enough of you are interested, I will happily make a video about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for even more exploration, inspiration, and travel tips. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!